catching up with Cody Phelps. And Cody has a distinction about him that most people can't say. He is a 3-time state champion on the wrestling mat, and he's got a chance to go for number 4, Cody, wrestling for the Pinedale Wranglers. Cody, thanks for joining us this morning and taking a little bit of your time.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Cody, one of the first things I want to talk about is becoming a 4-time state champ. That is a rarity, and most people don't even have the opportunity to do it. To kind of walk us through your career to this point, especially maybe going back to that freshman year and leading into it and some of the challenges that you've overcome over the course of the last 3 years or so.
Yeah, I guess for me, it was never really about just like being a 4-time state champ. It was just always kind of wrestling, and it just ended up happening. My freshman year, the main thing that I faced was just wrestling like bigger and older kids. And then, from there, it just kind of got to this point, and now hopefully this year I'll become a 4-timer.
What type of dedication does that take? Kind of walk us through maybe some of the work ethic or the workouts that you do, not just with your team but on your own, and maybe some of your off-season stuff as well.
Yeah, well, for me, wrestling, it's not just like a seasonal type of thing. I kind of just do it all year round, and just try to go to as many bigger tournaments as I can, like go to nationals and just do a bunch of summer workouts. And usually whenever I'm training for like big tournaments, I'll like try to get extra workouts in along with the ones that I'm already doing every day.
You know, Cody, one of the things that jumps off the page here is you talk about the versatility of wrestling is one of your favorite things about it, all the different options that are at your disposal. Kind of walk us through that, because that obviously changes opponent to opponent, and as you learn and perfect different techniques and things like that, how do you know when it's time to pull something out of the hat for a particular match?
Yeah, that's definitely one of my favorite things about wrestling is there's just so many like little details and like other things that you can do that it'd be impossible for one person to just know everything about it, and you can always be learning. And then, like, when you know what to do, it's just, like, kind of a feel thing, just wrestling a lot, and then you just sort of get the feel for, like, when and how to do things.
Do you have a favorite go-to technique or move or sequence that you particularly like to go to?
Not really. I just kind of, go with the flow, kind of just feel whatever's coming.
Cody, one of the coaches that you've got listed here is Lance Gilhausen, and he's listed here as being your coach since elementary school. And the Gilhausens, of course, have been a huge part of Pinedale wrestling over the past several years. Talk about his contributions to your career and maybe how other coaches from the Wrangler system have assisted you as well. Okay,
yeah. Lance, he's been coaching me since 1st or 2nd grade. I don't know, just whenever I started. And yeah, he's just been coaching me ever since, and he does a really good job of like bringing other guys in. Like, we have a couple of like really big name wrestlers here in Pinedale, and Lance just does a really good job of bringing them in. Like, we have an HP, his name's Tyler Hacklin. He wrestled at Cal Poly. Then we have another guy named Clayton Foster, and he wrestled at Oklahoma State. And Lance has just always done a really good job of bringing those guys in and getting us just that high-level technique that helps us out even more.
Speaking with Cody Phelps, he's a senior at Pinedale High School. Cody, I'm also noticing on here that it's not just about wrestling for you. You got a pretty good GPA and your academics. Tell us how you mix that in, because obviously to be a standout wrestler going for your 4th straight state title, you've got to make sure things are okay in the classroom, but that's not an easy task.
Yeah, I think for me it just kind of goes hand in hand. Like, the work ethic from the wrestling mat kind of translates into the classroom. I know it's not like that for some people, but for me it's just kind of all the same thing. You gotta work hard in every aspect of your life.
Looking at your career, obviously you got a great senior year coming up on tap. What are some of your goals for this year? And then maybe what would be something that you would pass along to maybe the next group of great Pinedale wrestlers coming up, maybe some advice that you might give them to help them on their way?
So my goal for this year is just to have an undefeated season again, and then hopefully place at nationals higher than I did last year. Last year I got 8th, and hopefully this year I do better. And then looking into the future, hopefully I'll be able to come in the high school room after I'm in college wrestling and help them out even more. I guess if there's any advice I could give to like a younger wrestler, it'd just be like, you'd be surprised how hard work ethic can get you. Like as long as you work hard for everything, you'll go pretty much as far as you want to.
Good advice there from Cody Phelps, going for his 4th straight state championship. Cody, one last question. Any idea on where your postseason, where your post-high school career is going to take you?
Yeah, I'm going to be wrestling at Western Wyoming this next year. And then from there, hopefully it just takes me to a bigger place.
Well, certainly a great environment there, Coach Castillo, and what he does there. Cody, thanks so much for your time today, and good luck this season. We appreciate your time.